From the Intelfluence headquarters in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, this is the Intelfluence Influencer Spotlight. In each episode, we sit down with an influencer from our network and we discuss their background as well as their unique approach to influencer marketing. Nicole Randone runs a nostalgia-based Instagram account dedicated to fashion and pop culture throwbacks of the early 2000s. Additionally, Nicole creates early 2000s inspired videos on her YouTube channel. Last year, Nicole was featured in the New York Times in an article titled "Teens Are Super Obsessed with Y2K." You can follow Nicole on Instagram at Miss2005, as well as YouTube and Twitter for early 2000s inspired content and much more. Nicole, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. My first question for you, so you touched a little bit about this in the New York Times article. But can you tell us a little bit about what led you to create your Instagram account that's grown to over 110,000 followers and where your love for the early 2000s began?
Yeah, of course. So it's so funny that you bring up the New York Times interview because I still can't believe that happened. And it was a year ago. But yeah, my early 2000s obsession began when I was super little. I was alive in the early 2000s, but I think I was just way too little to appreciate it. And I have two older brothers, so I was always just so obsessed with what they were watching, what they were listening to. And then as I got older, I was like, oh my God, everything that I love is connected to the early 2000s. So when I saw that there was a community for it on Instagram, I was like, oh, I have to be a part of this. This is where I belong.
I love it. I love it. And so at what point did you realize that you were in fact an influencer?
Oh, speaking of the New York Times, when they called me an early 2000s influencer, I was like, wait, what? I was like, me? That was the first time I ever saw myself as an influencer, and also the first time anyone ever called me an influencer. So that was super exciting.
Well, hey, when the New York Times calls you an influencer, it's pretty safe to say you are one.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome. And so what was your approach to growing your following? Was it organic, or did you employ specific strategies to grow your brand and your persona?
So I think it was super organic because when I first started my Instagram, I never went into it I'm going to get 100,000 followers right off the bat. That was never my intention. And I always stayed consistent with my content. And I think that's the key to growing a following on any social media platform is consistency. And I think that when you're passionate and you love what you're posting, it's so easy to stay consistent. And it never feels like a job or hard work, you know?
Absolutely. And that's a perfect lead into my next question, actually. So when you come up, how do you come up with your posts and your videos? Because like you said, it's on a very consistent basis. Is it planned out? Or do you have some sort of editorial calendar that you follow? Or is it more random based on kind of what you're feeling at the moment?
So everyone always asks me if I plan my content, and I truly do not. Everything just comes to me so naturally. Like I said before, I only post the things that I love and the things that I care about. So I'll wake up one morning, this morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? I feel like posting One Tree Hill today. You know, everything just comes to me so organically. It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's great. And then as you're a high closer on Intelfluence. Have you had any notable brand collaborations to date?
My favorite brand collaboration that I ever did, it's so cute and funny. It's a yard sign company, but the yard sign said "Vote for Elle and Bruiser Woods 2020," which I don't know if you've seen the movie Legally Blonde, but they're the characters. They're the characters in that movie. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I'm putting this in the front lawn right now.
Very nice. Very. Always got to love those relevant brand collaborations for sure.
Yeah, it was so on brand for me too. I was like, this is perfect. This was made for me.
That's so cool. So yeah, what are some of your goals for Miss 2005?
Oh, I have so many plans, Andrew. So many. I want to start a Miss 2005 podcast in the worst way. That's definitely my goal for 2020. And also something not a lot of people know about is I am actually writing an early 2000s novel right now. Yeah, it's set in the early 2000s. So Miss 2005 has definitely played a huge part in that process because it's everything that I love put on paper.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, yeah. I was old enough to be around for the good old Y2K. We were at
You're so
We were at a New Year's Eve party at our friend's house, and their kids went downstairs in the basement and shut the breakers off at midnight.
Oh, no way.
So that was funny. People were freaking out.
Scared?
Everyone was like, well, because there was a lot of hype leading into it with, what could happen? What could happen?
Yeah.
And then just in that moment, there were a lot of gasps and people kind of looking around like, seriously? The grid's down?
I wish I was there to experience that.
my co-host Sammy, who's a little younger than myself, I asked her, are there any questions I should ask Nicole? And so I have no clue what this means, but she told me to ask you, Nate Archibald or Chuck Bass?
Nate Archibald, right off the bat. Are you kidding?
Okay. No, I couldn't be kidding one way or the other. I don't know what I mean.
You don't know who Nate Archibald is?
No.
Andrew.
I'm sorry.
You need to watch Gossip Girl.
Okay, Gossip. Okay, I'll write that.
I love it.
It was interesting in the New York Times article how you discussed the movie Smart Home and kind of foreshadowing kind of what's come to the less kind of personal face-to-face communication and more, phone-based and text-based.
It's so funny too because I don't want to say I'm against modern technology, but I'm just not like the biggest fan of it. And it's so funny because my career is on social media, but I'm always just so cautious of not letting social media take over my life because I feel like a lot of people can get to that point where it's just their entire life and they're so obsessed with it and they're on their phone 24/7. So I'm so cautious that I don't turn into that,
Yeah, that's a perfect question so do you put any safeguards in place or do you put anything I'm not going to do this on the weekend or I'm going to take a specific day off or do you put any, kind of safeguards in place to not get consumed by it?
I'm always super careful. I was just telling myself yesterday, I had to remind myself to just take it easy, take a break, watch a Jesse McCartney video, because if not, I will just be posting constantly on YouTube or Instagram. And my brother always says Nicole, you're not for human consumption. You have to take a breather, and just set some boundaries, maybe take Saturdays and Sundays off. So I will maybe one day a week, I won't post, but I'll still of course watch early 2000s TV shows because that's how I relax.
Want to join Intellifluence as an influencer for free? It's easy. Visit Intellifluence.com, click on the influencers link, and then click on the join for free button to sign up. You'll get immediate access to our influencer marketplace where you can browse relevant offers from brands and apply on the spot. Earn cash quickly by referring your friends and family. You'll also be eligible to receive attractive product and service pitches from brands. There's absolutely no cost to join as an influencer, so we hope you take advantage of our service. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date. That's it for now. We hope to see you soon.
Okay, wait a minute. You graduated in 2003?
Graduated in 2003.
Please tell me you watched One Tree Hill.
I didn't.
Andrew!
I know.